Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a sales and marketing coach and LinkedIn lead generation service provider. I work with health, life, and mindset coaches and online service-based business owners to help them get more sales, shift their time to the client-generating activities instead of just the busy work, and overcome that social media overwhelm. Let's get into the show. If you're ready to take on your next paying clients, I have good news. My free 4 Basics of Client Attraction and How to Stand Out class is live at haileyrowe.com/client-attraction. In the class, you're going to learn the top 2 traits I recommend for most coaches and entrepreneurs if they really want to turn this into a career. You're going to learn how you can build demand for your services and stop getting crickets on your posts. You're going to learn the sales roadmap I used to improve my sales conversion rate and help my clients do the same. And you're going to learn so much more. So go to haileyrowe.com/client-attraction and get your copy of the class today. Very fun live with Jackie Glass, all about her journey working in corporate wellness, working as a wellness coach professionally. And I really like to bring people on my podcast who have that experience and who can be an example for aspiring health coaches or wellness coaches who want to go full time. And I thought I would bring her on here for a little Instagram live just to go over a couple teaser things before the podcast comes out on Health Coach Nation about corporate wellness do's and don'ts and some things she's learned working in corporate wellness. We talked about the importance of messaging when it comes to getting opportunities like that. And so I'm going to bring her on. Go ahead and put them in the comments below. And I'm holding my phone. I'm sorry. I forgot my tripod today. So it's loading. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I was giving you a little bit of an intro, and a lot of people on the live right now are interested in doing corporate wellness talks, getting in the corporate wellness world. And I said, you're a real life example of somebody doing that. So tell us a little bit about what is something that you did in the beginning to start to open that door and explore that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm just so grateful for you and all you do to really surround us health and wellness people. So thank you for all that you do. Something that I did early on was really say, hey, what am I uniquely wired to do and what is needed? And often we can look around and think, well, there's so many of us. I enjoy this. I love coming alongside people, but is it actually needed? And what I was able to kind of unravel within myself is say, what I'm uniquely wired to do is actually what is needed. And so it allowed me to kind of break apart some of the professional parts that I had done already. I'm a licensed clinical professional therapist. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in the health and fitness space. I'm a pastor. And so really to say heart, mind, body, soul, purpose, wellness. Okay, what are all these natural intersections at which I live at? And then what does that mean for the workplace? Usually in a day, people would say, or if they would ask me, or if I would talk to people, it was, I'm tired, I'm busy, there's too much going on, there's not enough, I feel financial stress. And so I thought, well, how do we, especially us as health and fitness coaches and wellness coaches, how are we feeling well as we come alongside people? And so that helped me navigate to say, wait a minute, what do I uniquely have to contribute in past experience, but then what is fresh and new and needed today?
Yeah, those are some good questions to consider. And one of the other things you touched on is having some kind of tool or something like that that you can use with teams or companies to help them improve what they want to improve, which is team, productivity, team performance. So tell us a little bit about that and Working Genius, your tool.
Yeah, so in therapy, we often use these tools, these assessments that are all about personality. So many of us are familiar with these, Enneagram and the DISC assessment and Strength Finders, all of these wonderful assessments that help us learn about us. And what we discovered is that often within the workplace, many companies wanted people to feel well. When we're coaching our clients, we want them to feel well, but we also want this level of wellness when it comes to work, this level of productivity. And so I started doing some research and realized there's this pandemic of loneliness that we noticed. And then Gallup did this research that the one thing that really shifted that and created workplace wellness was recognition. That when somebody felt recognized, they tended to not leave their job. And so we tied all these things together, and I thought, what is there an assessment out there that would help not only deposit into individually for people to learn what brought them energy, joy, and purpose, but also when it came to productivity in their work to allow them to feel well. And so I got certified as a Working Genius facilitator, and I've done over 100 of these now individually with teams. I speak about it, and it's this beautiful tool that really breaks down what are your geniuses? What do you bring, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a part of a team or you're working alongside teams who are trying to experience this wellness? What are you naturally gifted at? And so it deposits into you individually, but then also it displays this interconnected, interdependent piece that allows the teamwork to really happen, allows you to be recognized for what you can offer, but also do really good work when it comes to your work in terms of productivity.
I love it. Now, when you are approaching companies or going about getting into corporate wellness, are there any don'ts or things that you've learned don't really work well or haven't landed or anything like that?
Yeah, I think what doesn't work well is if we're really vanilla in who we are. I think if there's any encouragement to really be you, like we hear that a lot, but in order to do that, you also have to be okay that you are not going to be the right fit for certain places, and that has to be okay. Because if you are really whatever flavor you are, that will translate to different companies of exactly what they're looking for, and not then to be hurt by the no's or not be hurt by the closed doors or crickets. I know your program is coming up all about crickets, your event. And so when all of that happens, what I began to realize is don't take it personally, the closed doors. Keep being who you need to be, and the right doors will open. And because of that, you will actually feel more energy, purpose, and joy. We all know those opportunities that actually bring us more life. And so don't try to fit in and be who you were. When I was first translating into the corporate world, I just thought I had to get like really serious. And I'm not really a serious person. Like, I'm really not a serious person. And so I knew the environment and I knew what was expected of me, but I just realized like, it is no fun for me if I am in environments that are stuffy and serious. And I had to be okay saying, then there likely are a lot of other environments that need more sparkle and joy and energy. And I'm going to keep hunting towards those.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the same idea people have when they get on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
They think they have to be super stiff and their content can't be any fun and they have to be very serious and their profile has to be very serious. And it's just not true.
Yes. Yeah.
Made up. And I think it's same thing with me when I first started in this field. I thought, well, if I'm going to, do marketing and sales specifically for wellness coaches and whatnot, I have to use, I have to wear a blazer.
Yeah.
And I have to I had all these weird rules in my head about how I had to be. So what would you say to somebody who maybe feels a little bit of overwhelm with all the different opportunities, where to start? Any advice on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Working Genius is really helpful. You can find any information on my website, even on my handle, we'll link you there. It really helped me solidify what amount of time I needed to spend in what place, and then who I needed around me. Who were the people I needed around me, and how to release expectations of what I was not good at. So I think a lot of that starts with really recognizing where is that energy that you enjoy. Do you have financial goals? Do you have personal goals? Do you have vocational goals? And let those goals guide you. Let really that passion and that energy guide you. but then figure out really practically, who do you need around you, or what do you need to outsource around you? So many of your tools are so wonderful for these reasons, because what I had to discover was I was overwhelmed at a lot of the actual like getting things across the finish line. So I could talk to people, I love telling them what I love to do, but then came time to tools and systems, and I needed to find those. If I spent my energy creating those, I would not still be in this profession. And so allow yourself, if you're overwhelmed, to just say like, well, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that I continue to not, when I continue to, it's a day that I need to create systems. I don't want to show up to work. Isn't that interesting? And then instead of that, just go hunt for those and free yourself of having to create everything and do everything. Find amazing people who that is what they are contributing. And then how can you come alongside them in other ways of what you're contributing? So if you're feeling overwhelmed, I would say get really clear on what you're really good at. Again, Working Genius can help with that. But also then, what can I outsource, or who else do I need alongside me to continue to be freed up to enjoy what we do? Our hope is that those of us who are in wellness like actually are living well lives. Yeah. That the things that are most magnetic about us that will translate is if we are actually living our life as well as we can, not only physically, mentally, emotionally, but with our work. And so don't forget that the clearer you are and the more magnetic you are when it comes to you loving your work will translate and will multiply when it comes to you allowing the other work to come to you.
Yes, amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that. And for anybody who is overwhelmed and you want a place to start, if you're trying to build your online presence specifically, I do have a free event coming up on August 26th. We're going to be covering the freebie funnel formula to get more clients, and it's going to help you get focused on growing your email list as your main platform, and how to go about that. And so link is in my bio. It's also at haileyrowe.com/live event. But Jackie, now let's talk about where can people connect with you, stay connected, learn more, all the good stuff.
Yeah, my website, JackieGlass.com. So you will find any information about my coaching, my team facilitation, as well as my speaking. I also have a page just for Working Genius. So if I can be of any help in there, JackieGlass.com. Also, my handle is Jackie F. Glass if you want to connect more.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And we will talk soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.